TV and Biafran history. We say Happy New Month to everyone, and Happy New Month to all my fans. In today's video, let's dive in. It says Deji Adeyanju visited Nnamdi Kanu as the AU ordered his release from Sokoto prison. The human rights activist Deji Adeyanju, the one who visited Nnamdi Kanu in prison. In this video, you are going to see him, and then you are going to hear everything from him, and also the AU that talks about Nnamdi Kanu, about his release, and then they ordered Tinubu for them to release Nnamdi Kanu due to the issue of the judgment. It is not right, and the thing that they did in the court is not right. For how many years they had been giving order and speaking about his release, but this time it has come into a new form. So I would like you to watch this to the end, don't skip any part of it, because this our brother is going to explain a lot of things to us about what is really happening and the thing that is going on. Mostly the issue of Adeyanju. He explained so much concerning Nnamdi Kanu and concerning what he saw in the prison, and the speech what Nnamdi Kanu told him when he went to prison to visit him. In fact, he talks a lot of things. I would like you to watch it for you to see by yourself and for you to understand by yourself things that is really going on in Nigeria. So as about to watch, like, subscribe, and make sure you share for everyone to see things happening in the country.
Welcome to the month of May. Happy new month, this month of May, the 1st of May 2026. And also happy Workers' Day to all the hard-working Biafrans around the world and all the lovers of freedom around the world. Human rights activists Deji Adeyanju visited Nnamdi Kanu in Sokoto prison in a very shocking twist. And to his surprise, Nnamdi Kanu granted him over 2 hours audience in the Sokoto prison. When he came out of the prison, Deji Adeyanju had this to say. Watch this video.
I was with Nnamdi Kanu at the Sokoto Correctional Prison. I went to see him. We had a lengthy conversation for like 2 hours. Of course, you know, I've disagreed with him in the past, but I don't think it's justifiable for him to have been jailed.
Why?
He didn't physically kill anyone. Even the things that were imputed to say he has done, he didn't do them. You can't blame him. We were the one that started NSAS. How can you say that Nnamdi Kanu was responsible for what happened during NSAS? Thugs were on rampage during NSAS. They didn't send anybody to do anything. Basically, he's talking about this marriage does not favor us. And if the marriage does not favor us, let's do a referendum. He may even lose in his compound if your referendum is because this idea, I think the reason why some of these questions keep coming up is because we keep shying away from it. Let's confront our fears. Let's face our fears. And let us decide if whether through a sovereign national conference or whatever modus operandi we want to use, let's confront our fears and say, oh, if we do a referendum and we vote, even the United Kingdom at a point left the EU. Do you understand? Whenever you're forcing somebody to stay in a marriage, it may be death that will happen. When you start, the person say, I'm tired of a marriage, you say, no, you must stay in this marriage. You must.
For better, for worse.
Yeah, and again, yes, I'm a Pan-Nigerian and also a Pan-African. I love the fact that I'm able to travel the length and breadth of this country to see my Igbo brothers, my Hausa brother, my Yoruba brother. And it breaks my heart when I hear anybody talk about this kind of conversations. It breaks my heart. However, there are people that feel this way. We must listen to them. We must not hound them. We must not shut them up. We must hear their genuine grievances and complaints. See,
I want to thank Deji Adeyanju for this feedback and also for the kindness for you to leave all what you are doing to go to Sokoto State, take all the risk to visit Nnamdi Kanu, despite the fact that you made it very clear that you do not believe in the dissolution of Nigeria and that you are a one Nigeria person, but you still had that empathy in you to visit Nnamdi Kanu in Sokoto prison and listen to him very clearly. And of course, you also making it clear that you bought many of the ideas, he shared with you in that fruitful meeting, and also using the opportunity to demand for the release of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, saying clearly that there is nothing wrong in a referendum and people should have their liberty, their freedom, to choose their destiny at every point in time. If not, it will be like a forced marriage. I admire your empathy, because at the end of the day, we must not see life the same way. We must not believe in the same things before we understand that we all are humans. So for you to exhibit that human part of you, to take on the journey to Sokoto prison, and of course stating clearly one by one that you believe in Nnamdi Kanu and that you believe in his cause, and in fact he never committed the crimes they said he did, that he never killed anybody, and also you made it clear there that he never started the NSAS, he had no part to play, and it was thugs. Everybody saw these thugs. In fact, that video you did was wonderful, because you are a human rights activist and people listening to you. It's very important that more activists go to Sokoto and hear from Nnamdi Kanu, saying also that we all saw what happened during this period, like the NSAS that he was accused of. We all saw what happened, that Nigerians saw it for themselves. So it's no use of a court coming to, to give a very fraudulent sentencing or conviction on what Nigerians know and the world know, and is in the limelight for all to see how the NSAS started, amongst other things Kanu was accused of. So you use this opportunity to clear lots of things, and I think people that need to listen should listen, because I told you all very clearly here that Human Rights International had washed Nnamdi Kanu away from that fraudulent judgment, and in fact has called Nnamdi Kanu a prisoner of conscience, and Deji Adeyanju is towing that same line. Thank you very much, Deji. We must not all see life the same way, but empathy is the watchword as we live our various lives. Definitely, I appreciate this visit. Thank you very much. Another news. The African Union has made a call for the release of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. The African Union is to hold a session to call for the release of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu in a landmark turn of events. The call was made after careful considerations of the events that led up, that precipitated his abduction and kidnap from Kenya to Nigeria, which was brought to it by a pro-Biafra group, of course a pro-Biafra lobby group, and it was carefully audited and investigated by their panel. Thereby, they have decided to hold an emergency summit to compel Nigeria to release free Nnamdi Kanu unconditionally due to the illegal manner he was abducted that contradicted the African Union protocols, the UN protocols, and of course all protocols known to man by international bodies recognized worldwide. The AU said that due to the illegal manner he was abducted, it constituted to an international crime. And the AU said they will not stand to be counted as people who condone such acts, because there is an African Union Charter on Human and People's Rights that protects these international rights, among of which the AU also quoted that 6 courts in Nigeria has already granted his release, thereby ratifying the commitment, because the Nigerian judiciary has already agreed to it in those 6 judgments, and a court in Kenya has already agreed to it in a landmark judgment, and the AU laws that protect people's rights. These 3 have already come together to nullify the imprisonment of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. And this, of course, is a breaking news. And it is a wonderful news this first day of May 2026. This is what I have to say, and this is me being on the spot. What a time to be alive this first day of May. What a time to be alive. You see, when you're fighting for freedom, when you're fighting for certain things, it may take time, but definitely it will surely come to pass. People will laugh at you, people will call you certain names, people will even threaten your life because what you're fighting for, they do not have, the foresight to see it. They are short-sighted, so they are pushed away, or they are being led by fear and by the present. They don't want to change the present, and those people who seek to live in the present do not end up changing the world. That is why we have many people who are still fighting themselves within. They don't want to make changes around them because they are comfortable with the status quo. And of course, the status quo is the easiest situation to be in. The plight of Ndigbo in Nigeria is not a status quo that people who dream dreams, people who see visions, and people who lead people will like and accept. It's a status quo of failure, a status quo of poverty, a status quo of death, and a status quo that can never remain the same. That is why Nnamdi Kanu opened his mouth to fight. And the fight he fought hurt, annoyed many people who loved the status quo because they are benefiting from it. And they ganged up together, of course, to commit this crime against him. Not because he did what they said he did. Because you all can see who is doing what in Nigeria. You all can see how they have shared Nigeria into regions, and they have sent Usman Danfodio's children around to occupy the bushes, the villages, the towns. And now they are the ones committing this crime. But you will never see Nigeria own up to say they are the ones committing the crime. Instead, if you open the newspaper, all you will see is Nnamdi Kanu did this, IPOB did this, ESN did this, Igbo youth did this, and that's what you keep on seeing. They will never accept that the Igbos are the good ones of Nigeria. They are the best of Nigeria. So I want to commend the African Union for taking this bold step. It has been very long coming to at least stand on the side of the future, the side of truth. Not always on the side of money or wealth. Not always on the side of power, but on the side of truth for once. Let us stand truth for once in this life. Must we keep on respecting whatever demons and evil spirits? Is that the way to go? If Jesus Christ had taken money from the devil, would we have been saved today? Would there be anything called Christianity? It is time Africa stands up to lead the battle for the freedom of Biafra. It is time Africa stands up to do what is right, and I pray this will be followed up tooth and nail until Nnamdi Kanu is coming out, because we believe that as a union, definitely there are a lot of work to do to ensure that this judgment is carried out and is enforced. So we wait and watch and see the coming of events in the coming days, and we know, like the way Donald Trump and America stood up to fight against evil in Nigeria, Africa must stand up to fight against evil in Nigeria, because Nigeria is not actually a real place. Wherever watching me from, God bless you. Remember that the woman around you is your brother. Please be kind, show love, and help where you can. By fear and by the present. They don't want to change the present, and those people who seek to live in the present do not end up changing the world. That is why we have many people who are still fighting themselves within. They don't want to make changes around them because they are comfortable with the status quo. And of course, the status quo is the easiest situation to be in. The plight of Ndigbo in Nigeria is not a status quo that people who dream dreams, people who see visions, and people who lead people will like and accept. It's a status quo of failure, a status quo of poverty, a status quo of death, and a status quo that can never remain the same. That is why Nnamdi Kanu opened his mouth to fight, and the fight he fought hurt, annoyed many people who loved the status quo because they are benefiting from it. And they ganged up together, of course, to commit this crime against him. Not because he did what they said he did. Because you all can see who is doing what in Nigeria. You all can see how they have shared Nigeria into regions, and they have sent Usman Danfodio's children around to occupy the bushes, the villages, the towns, and now they are the ones committing this crime. But you will never see Nigeria own up to say they are the ones committing the crime. Instead, if you open the newspaper, all you will see is Nnamdi Kanu did this, IPOB did this, ESN did this, Igbo youth did this. That's what you keep on seeing. They will never accept that the Igbos are the good ones of Nigeria. They are the best of Nigeria. So I want to commend the African Union for taking this bold step. It has been very long coming to at least stand on the side of the future, the side of truth. Not always on the side of money or wealth. Not always on the side of power, but on the side of truth for once. Let us stand truth for once in this life. Must we keep on respecting whatever demons and evil spirits?
Painting people black.
Is that the way to go? If Jesus Christ had taken money from the devil, would we have been saved today?
Carrying placard to agitate for themselves.
Would there be anything called Christianity?
Then the next thing you tag them.
It is time Africa stands up to lead the battle for the freedom of Biafra. It is time Africa stands up to do what is right, and I pray this will be followed up tooth and nail until Nnamdi Kanu is coming out, because we believe that as a union, definitely there are a lot of work to do to ensure that this judgment is carried out and is enforced. So we wait.
Why they are still keeping silent in this evil that is going on in this country. Just watch by yourself and see what this Ghanaian person just dropped recently. In fact, it will shock you. Don't skip any parts. Make sure you watch it for you to understand things by yourself.
All right, so I want to ask this question. Where is African Union? Is African Union alive? Because the president of Ghana, I know that he has been very vocal when it comes to this African Union thing. William Ruto, the president of Kenya, also said something about the African Union, where he said that video will have copyright because of the channel that published it. He said that the African Union is not effective and is not fit for purpose, and therefore the African Union need complete total reform. So, should we dissolve the African Union? Are they aware of what is going on in Nigeria? Right in front of the African Union, Libya went down. In front of the African Union, they were here. Sudan is gone, completely beyond repair. I'm telling you right now that the same strategy used to destabilize Sudan is the same strategy which is being used in Nigeria currently. We are going to be here doing ECOWAS, African Union. They are like juice factory these days. African Union will be here until they hear that there is coup d'etat in Nigeria. Then they will wake up. Hey, we no go agree. Putting out statement. They are going to send their already structured army that they are going to restore democracy in Nigeria, but they cannot restore peace in Nigeria. The video on your screen, this young man was going, and before I prove to you that Nigeria is about to become the explicit replica of Sudan, wait, this young man was traveling, and he was somehow anyhow kidnapped. In fact, the only crime of this guy is the fact that he's a Nigerian. That's all. His only crime is the fact that he's a Nigerian. We will be here and Nigeria will completely fall. African Union, you have your army that you have been sending to countries that have done coup d'etat, remove corrupt officials. But this army cannot fight some bandit in bush wearing jalabia with slippers. The army of Nigeria has failed to protect the people of Nigeria. Now let me prove this to you. In Sudan, I said it from the beginning that Sudan, for example, we are going to have the same strategy. That is what we are going to see. In Sudan, do you know what is going on? The Janjaweed, which is now become the RSF, the Rapid Support Force in Sudan. They started like what is going on right now in Nigeria. in Nigeria right now, somehow, anyhow, I don't know who came up with this useless idea that they want to rehabilitate these T group people and recruit them back into the community. Some are being recruited into the army. I don't understand who came up with this useless idea. I can't tell. And when you think about it, you can't fix it in your head. Talk less of fixing it on the ground. What is happening right now is that, these few days, they are taking out the generals in the army of Nigeria, one after the other. All the generals are going, and they are replacing them. There is an agenda. I don't want to say certain things, so I'm keeping my conversation very cool. This is how the Janjaweed started in Sudan. They are in the bush, buying all the black people to the level where the black people have it to the neck because they were carrying on some kind of whatever Islamic agenda. I don't know. The Janjaweed then was the same group of this T group. All of a sudden, the next thing we begin to hear is that, they are rehabilitating them. All of a sudden, the Janjaweed, all of them were recruited and rebranded, remodernized, and they have become the RSF, the Rapid Support Forces. The time they became the Rapid Support Forces, they are done eliminating the generals in the army of Sudan. There was so total replacement, and they rehabilitate them, rebranded them to work alongside the military of Sudan. One day they wake up, join hand with the military. They took out the government so that they can run the country together. Now the military, the real army of Sudan, wake up only to realize that the Janjaweed, which is now the RSF, wake up against them because all of them are fighting for leadership. And look at what is going on in Sudan. Sudan is completely out of coverage area, completely beyond repair as we are speaking right now. Honestly speaking, Sudan is gone. And on social media, whatever, when you talk about it, they flag you, they say this and that. Oh, let's keep that aside. Now, Nigeria, these guys in Nigeria, that video on your screen you are watching right now, they are recruited. That is a rehabilitating center. They are recruiting these guys from the bush. Some are going back into the community. Some are entering where? The military. The same strategy to rebrand this T group into an armed force to work alongside the army of Nigeria. Same strategy. Just as the Janjaweed were rebranded to become RSF, these guys that they are rebranding right now will be given a new name, polished name. Nigeria will be brought down to its knees. African Union, you will be here until Nigeria fall. And I'm saying this, many of you will be watching me and say that, you don't know the agenda of these guys. If Nigeria fall, the entire West Africa will go. Because Togo is just right beside Nigeria right there. Benin is closer. And as for Ghana, this is their domain. We are going to have a lot of Nigerians coming here, and our authorities, because of ECOWAS and Pan-Africanism, they cannot stop them. And therefore, we are going to have a lot of this T group trooping in. The day they hand up, they are done with Nigeria, they will take the next country. It is a complete agenda going on. So where is African Union? If you have come across this video, especially on Facebook, try your possible best and tag the president of Ghana together with the African Union. They need to do something about this. If Nigeria fall, entire West Africa will fall. Currently, as we're speaking, these guys in the group, they are now more powerful than the entire army of Nigeria. Nigeria, that we always say this is the giant of Africa, they cannot fight people in Jalabia with slippers. Wearing jalabias with slippers, with Quran in their bags, up and down. You are appealing to the United States to come and help you. These guys, I don't know, somehow, anyhow, the rehabilitating center, I saw some white dudes around. Some guys came on board and these Europeans are coming in. I don't know how they are working with the rehabilitation staff. And we will be here. The army of Nigeria will be completely gone. We have the president of this group building an army straight from the bush in Nigeria. Shegumi. I'm talking about Shegumi. I know you have been picking people on the media and all that. Shegumi is what I'm talking about. That is the only intelligent man in Nigeria. When citizens are dead, you will not see him in action. When the citizens of Nigerians are dead in the hands of his group, I say his group, you will not see Shegumi in action. But let the Nigerian government take a stand and say we are going to clear these guys out, Shegumi will be out speaking for them. The army of Nigeria is calling these people prodigal son, quoting Bible scripture to us that we need to give them time to repent. What the hell do you mean repent? Send them to heaven, let God handle the situation there. Here, this is earth here, we deal with human being here. What the hell do you mean that repentance? What are you talking about? What do you, how can the army even come out and make that statement in the first place to begin with? That you are giving time that these people should repent and... Now, let me tell you one thing that they are also doing. Nigerians in Nigeria, in their own country, have become commodity that these guys are using. Nigerians, let me tell you how they are doing it. The group in the bush are divided into two. There is one particular group. What they do is that they go to villages and then go to church and then tie everybody in there. They go to mosque and wear vests and then they will do all kind of things. Now, when they need money for ammunitions and stuff and all that, there is another group that go about kidnapping Nigerian citizens for ransom, to raise money to survive in the bush. Nigerians are commodity, are the resources they are trading to make money in the bush. So this army, we have been here, these people have become so powerful in the bush of Nigeria, in the forest right there. You see the reason why I've been shouting all the time. Last time, the Fulani communities in Ghana, they were angry with me. Yeah, I saw many of them in their videos. They were angry. Hey, I'm attacking their community. I am the energy you people use in this country and across Africa to come together against us when we talk about the things some of your people are doing. If you can use that energy to unite, if you can use that energy and you unite to speak against the things that your people are doing, I think they will solve at least 30% of the problem. African Union, you need to sit up. We cannot sit here, watch Libya gone, watch Sudan gone. DRC is beyond repair. Under your watch, African Union, under your watch, DRC is beyond repair. Currently, as we speak, and look at Nigeria right now, if not because of the intervention of Captain Ibrahim Traore, Assimi Goita, General Tiani, the entire Sahel region will go offline under your watch. It is high time you get up and sit down with your men that you have been sitting down with, writing articles and then condemning coup d'etat. Sit down and take decisions. Send your army to Nigeria and restore peace. It's not only about democracy. I'm very particular about this because in the next 30 years, I don't want my kids to be running up and down in Ghana because they need shelter from these guys. I'm particular about it because I don't want to leave this place and my grandchildren will be running up and down, being kidnapped, and then they'll be requesting ransom. That's why I'm speaking.
Oh, yes. This is a very powerful statement, a very powerful speech from this, our brother. It is very, very good that people has now start rising up from different places, start to talk, start to speak against this thing that is going on in Nigeria. For some people, they may look it as if it is nothing, but they don't know who will be the next, and they don't know how and when it will happen. Because in Nigeria, as of today, Nigeria is just a commodity, as he said it's just a company for the terrorists. And if you are following me in my video, my recent video, mostly the one we are posting this week, you will see how the Britain use Nigeria as a company, as a business. That is why you see everything that is happening today in this country is being caused by the British. And upon everything that is happening, they have not even rise up against it or to speak, say enough is enough against all those injustice that is happening. And sometimes I will still be wondering, person like the man who sentenced Nnamdi Kanu life imprisonment, how will he be sleeping if he goes to bed when seeing all those things happening? The same thing Nnamdi Kanu was preaching against, all the thing he said is what is happening today. Everything he said is what is happening. And he said that we always will be staying like this. This Janjaweed will come over and take over everything we have once we are not serious, and once people is not serious about things that is happening, when people think that God will just do everything overnight for them without rising up. Now, the worst part of it is that the ECOWAS, the AU, the African Union, those ones that used to claim whenever they see evil like this, whenever they see some group of men that take over the power from the so-called democracy, then you see them rising up and claiming that they want to come and fight against it. But once they see this type of evil happening in a country, they will never speak. I don't know the type of government, the type of African leaders we have. I don't know the kind of African leaders we have in this continent. People that love so much in politics, in power. They want to remain in power by all means. Even though people are dying, they don't care. They just want to remain in power. That is it. And they are just for their own selfish interest. All the leaders in Africa, they are for their own selfish interest. Imagine the type of numbers of people that is spying every day in this country, Nigeria. But the politician, what they are after is their political seats. Imagine a army staff, CDS, chief of army staff, will come out and they will be telling you that they have repentant Boko Haram, repentant bandits, and repentant so on and so forth. But the people who speak against what you are doing that is not right, the next thing you pick them, either you cage them forever or you kill them, and you claim that they are the terrorists. But the main terrorists, they are there killing and they ransacking villages and chasing away people from the towns and other things. But after every 6 months, you bring them back again and call them repentant Boko Haram. And the next, you want your own citizen to accept what you are doing in the name of you are working for them. Well, I would like to hear your comment down below. What do you think about the whole thing going on in Nigeria? Like, subscribe, and share it for everyone to see things happening. Thank you for watching.